Welcome, everyone. I'm delighted and grateful that you made the time to be here today. This session is the sixth in a series of 8 planned events on the use of hypnotic techniques in coaching. To start today, I would like for all of us to join in an exercise. And this exercise is just to slow down and calm the mind away from the hustle and bustle of our everyday busyness and embrace, if you will, the deeper peace and calm of connection with your unconscious mind. It is a simple technique which you can use to slow down and even create a light trance state. And it is something that your unconscious already know how to do. Breathe. And we all know how to breathe unconsciously. And we don't even have to think about it. We just know it happens when we notice it. So here's a simple technique. And you can decide to close your eyes now or later, whichever is best for you. But you also know that the unconscious world is an inner world. And the inner world, where your unconscious knows how to communicate with the inner eye of the imagination, undisturbed by the open eye, which is blind to the inner world. So give yourself permission to look with the eyes of your unconscious and close your eyes now. Settle back, settle down, and breathe. Take a deep breath in and out, and another in and out. And keep breathing like this for a few moments. In a moment, I will give you more instructions. Breathing in and out. And I want you to consider that while we are doing this exercise, you are capable of learning something new, which you can use anytime you want, even later in this session today. I am going to ask your conscious mind to make space for an even bigger awareness, that of the unconscious mind. And I will ask the unconscious to pay attention even as the conscious mind relaxes and forget its focus. It's a simple induction to take your unconscious and your client to a deeper level of relaxation, opening up the windows of your mind. It's a simple technique that you can do anytime you are able to count down. And while you are experiencing this induction, you are also learning it. And in a moment, I will start to teach you how to count from 5 all the way down to 1. Starting with 5, feeling really relaxed. Going down to 3, letting go of all the rules, all the way down to 4, feeling restful, even comfortably warm all over, to 3, enjoying this free time you have to relax, 2, to relax, both together, 2, almost there, fully relaxed. Enjoy this moment and being one with your unconscious mind all the way down to 1. Fully relaxed now. And rest in this moment, this quiet moment, here and now. This is all a simple induction is designed to do. Relax and get you ready to learn and change. Relax. And in a moment, I will ask you to come to presence, but not yet. I will count you up from 3 to 1. And as I count, you will notice how you feel energy blooming in your body, creating a state of curiosity and eagerness to learn what is possible for you. And in a moment, I will start. Notice the anticipation, your willingness to learn, starting to grow, starting now. 3, reminding you you are free to learn, feeling that spark of curiosity. 2, energize your mind, popping and sizzling through your body, feeling 1 with your unconscious awareness. And open your eyes, feeling oddly refreshed and ready to pay attention now. Welcome. Today, we will discuss guided visualization as another hypnotic technique for use in coaching. It allows you to connect and expand your coaching clients' imaginative awareness. But before we discuss guided visualization in detail, I want to remind you of our session next week. In part 7 of this series, we will discuss attention shifting coaching. It is a conversational approach to coaching, which I learned from one of my great teachers, John Overdurf, and it can create shifts quickly and easily on the way to achieving outcomes. Attention shifting coaching is about moving attention on a conscious and unconscious level through the senses and the models of the world you hold. It is an effective process to create hypnotic trance and expand your awareness to achieve goals and outcomes vital to you. Please don't miss that valuable discussion next week. Man has long sought contact with the more profound and higher realms of his psyche through the use of techniques involving mental imagery. In many cultures, the journey to connect with a mental symbol or vision is part of the transition rituals to adulthood. An example is the vision quest of certain North American Indian tribes, in which young men would practice fasting and self-discipline in isolation until they obtained a vision of their totem animal, as is the practices of the shamans from many cultures to heal or connect with purpose or visions of the future. Throughout the world, people employ hallucinogenic drugs in an attempt to enhance their inner life and to gain access to new realms of visionary experience. The practices of induced dreams and dream incubation are other forms of evoking the symbolic potential of the psyche. The ancient Greeks, the Tibetans, and many prominent psychologists believed and still believe in the power of the imagination and how it can be used as a healing tool. Guided visualization is a gentle and powerful technique that focuses the imagination in a proactive and positive way. It is the conscious use of the imagination to create positive images and bring about healthy changes in both body and mind. It is also a meditative process whereby a facilitator or a coach can guide a client to evoke and create mental images that stimulate or recreate the experience of sights, sounds, tastes, smells, movement, and imagined content and adventures. It uses imagery in a more purposeful and directed way, and it can control negative thoughts such as fears and concerns. It has proven to be very successful in promoting relaxation, which can lower the blood pressure, to reduce anxiety and problems related to stress. It's very effective in managing pain, in promoting healing, and of course, in achieving goals. Guided visualization has a positive effect on heart rate, breathing and oxygen rates, brain waves. Using guided visualization can even be used to prepare for and manage states for anticipated future events that may create uncertainty and fear. Guided imagery and visualization is safe. There are no known risks associated with it. In guided visualization, we use the mind's eye and the breadth of experience from the unconscious mind to create states, experiences, and to do thinking from an expanded consciousness. And we do this to provide us with answers that the conscious mind and rational thinking cannot produce on its own. From a neuroscientific perspective, research has shown that the limbic brain cannot distinguish between an event that occurred years ago and the memory of that event triggered by a similar situation at this moment, or that there is a difference between an imagined event and reality. Visualizations allow you to pave the way for new neural pathways that can allow you to perceive people and situations in a new way. It allows us to create new neural pathways and rewire old neural pathways by inviting your creative mind and all the images, colors, shapes, and ideas that it holds to come into our consciousness and open us up to create change. When this happens, the usual busyness and distractions of everyday life ease into focused awareness. And it expands your perspective in a way that, when put to action, can lead to powerful insight and the potential for change. And your body relaxes, which allows healing to happen at both the cellular and the mental level. As coaches, there are many ways we can utilize this for our clients. For example, we can help them with stress and unproductive states. We can reduce their fear and uncertainty. We can facilitate clients to expanded awareness and insight, and much, much more. To do this, let's start with a simple process to facilitate a guided visualization exercise. I always start by bringing the client to a state of presence and mindfulness. A simple exercise to do this is the coach state, which I've used several times in this series. Other ways are exercises like progressive relaxation and, of course, the use of hypnotic induction techniques. Then the next step is to set an intention. And it is essential to set a strong positive intention that invites creative thinking. From strong positive intentions, it is easy to follow through with positive guided imagery. Let me give you an example of an intention that I hold in this moment. And it goes as follows. I am open, curious, and excited to explore new ways of thinking that will create positive effects in my life. Once you've defined your intention, we go to the next step, and then we do an induction. The induction is a mechanism that we use to create deeper relaxation, and it allows the conscious mind to let go of control, and it lets the unconscious mind engaged in focused awareness. A good induction will allow the client to expand their awareness beyond the immediacy that the conscious and rational mind craves. A simple one is the one that I used with you when we started this session, that of a countdown, coupled with some direct suggestions of relaxation and other altered states. If you are able to count down, you can induce a relaxed, open, and aware state of expanded consciousness. The next step is the visualization itself. And here is where we attempt to facilitate the client's internal imagery through a scene and allow them to experience it for themselves. Unlike image streaming, where the unconscious mind provides unstructured imagery, in guided visualization, the framework source of imagery is provided by the coach or the facilitator. The visualized scene should be described vividly and in the present tense, using all of the senses and any other sensory pathways to provide a rich experience for the client. Part of the visualization includes the coaching intervention, which may include suggestions, affirmations, and creative problem-solving techniques, which we integrate into the visualization description to resolve questions, to resolve issues, to manage states, and to create insight. And then finally, we want to reorient the client to reality by bringing them to full conscious alertness, which can also be done by a simple countdown and the affirmation of the desired states the coach wants the client to be in when they come fully to presence awareness again. So as you can see, this is a straightforward process. Some of the tips that I recommend with this process is, firstly, to slow down your speech. Slower speech is more relaxing, and it's also better to induce a state of relaxation. The second thing is, as a coach, even while you are facilitating your client, surrender yourself to the states of presence, intention, and the experience of the induction and the visualization. Allow yourself to feel everything as you wish your client to experience it. The famous psychiatrist Milton Erickson, he famously induced hypnotic trances with patients while being in the state of trance himself. Let us quickly discuss where the use of guided visualization is most useful in the coaching conversation. I'm going to start with the planning and the strategy of how you would engage a client with techniques like guided visualization. When we do imaginative and unconscious work with a client, it always requires a deep level of trust. So, as a coach, you need to decide whether the relationship and the rapport that you have with your client is good enough for the trust required for such an exercise. And if you are happy that you have adequate levels of rapport and trust, then discuss it with your client. Start by discussing the actual technique. Make them understand what the technique is about, what the process is, and what the likely outcomes is. And then get their permission before you attempt to do work like this. I would often discuss techniques like this with a client in the closing of one session and then let them reflect on it before the next session. This also gives them some time to come to a decision. It gives them some time to do some research, and then they can decide whether they want to play with a technique like that from an informed point of view. The next step would be to decide where in the session you want to use guided visualization, if you have your client's consent. Now, there's a couple of possibilities that I'm going to mention to you, and you are probably going to think of a couple more. If you want to use guided visualization in the opening, this is normally useful if you wanted to manage residual states from previous sessions or residual states from the environment from which they come, or if you wanted to create specific states for the coaching session itself. Another possibility to use guided visualization is in contracting. And here you can use it to emphasize or to accentuate a critical outcome. You may use it to get your client to picture in a lot of detail what it is that they want to accomplish in this session. Then in the exploring, you can use guided visualization to take a creative problem-solving approach to expand awareness and possibility. Often, what I do in the exploring stage of the conversation is I will understand what the problem or the issue is. I will explore the issue to really understand all of the information and the data around it. Even explore some ideas around how it can be solved. And then I can use all of that information that I gathered, plus all of the ideas, and I can integrate it into a guided visualization, which will help the client to create even more ideas or to consciously and unconsciously consider some of the ideas that they've already mentioned. Then we get to actioning and closing. And often I use guided visualization here to create states and mindsets to support the execution of actions beyond the session. All of these are possibilities. And I'm not suggesting that you do 5 or 6 different guided visualizations in the same session, but you might decide where can you use this tool the best somewhere in your coaching conversation. So let's move on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an experience of a guided visualization. I am going to use a technique that I learned from Dr. Win Wenger called Over the Wall. And some of you that came to the image streaming session will remember that that technique too was developed by Dr. Win Wenger. Now, over the wall is a guided visualization that aims to create insight into a question or an issue that you have. So, for a moment, just consider a question for which you want an answer or an issue which you need to resolve. And I'm just going to give you a moment to think of that. And even if you don't have anything in this moment, something will come to mind. Now, as you are sitting there on your chair, in your space, I want you to relax back into your chair. And in this moment, feel how it supports you, how it's supporting your legs and your back. And I want you to completely relax with both your feet on the ground and your hands in your lap. And if you haven't closed your eyes yet, you can give yourself permission to do it now. And take a deep breath in and out. And another deep breath in and out. And keep on breathing like this for a few breaths. And remember a time when you were fully and deeply relaxed. That's right. And on your next breath in, I want you to breathe all the way to your center. And allow yourself to be open to whatever may arise. Any feelings or emotions, for they are here to teach us. Allow yourself to be aware of everything you can see with your inner eye, the eye of your imagination. And be aware of everything that you hear, all of the sounds, all of the noises. And it doesn't matter what sound occurs, it's just there to make you even more relaxed. And become aware of everything you feel in this moment, inside. And reach out in your mind and be aware of your connection to the best of you. All of the resources you have, all of your strengths, and your capabilities. And be aware of the resources around you, all those people and things you can rely on to help you. And hold this space, this safe space. Enjoy this moment. Take another deep breath in and out. I want each of us to set an intention for ourselves, for the exercise that we're about to do, and make it a positive intention, because positive intentions lead to positive change, and positive change leads to positive outcomes. And I will share with you my intention. I am excited, open, and curious to explore new ways of thinking that will create positive effects in my life. Now, if you haven't found an intention for yourself, you are very welcome to use mine. So, with an intention in mind, allow yourself to relax even more. And I will count down from 5 to 1. And when we reach 1, you will be as deeply relaxed as you can possibly be. And you will notice an expanded awareness. Starting with 5, relaxing all of your body. 4, doubling up on that relaxation, just melting into your chair. 3, letting go of all your preconceived thoughts and ideas. 2, open to whatever might happen. 1, fully relaxed, opening your mind, expanding your awareness. That's right. And with your eyes closed, I want you to imagine that you are on a footpath, a gravel footpath. And as you are walking down this path, you feel the gravel moving under your feet, crunching under your feet. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining down on you. You feel the gentle warmth on your skin. You smell the flowers and the plants of early spring. And as you are walking down this path, you look around and you see how green everything is. Everywhere you notice the little flower buds opening, the first buds of spring, little flashes of pink and yellow and orange and blue all around you. And then ahead of you, you see a fork in the path. One path leading left and another path leading right. And I want you to walk down the path leading to the left. And this path leads you to a gate. And I don't know what this gate looks like to you, but you do. And you notice that there's a latch on the gate. And I want you to reach out and open that latch and walk through the gate into a magnificent garden. And apart from the singing of the birds and the occasional rustle of an insect in a plant, there is a comforting silence. And looking around, you see all of your favorite plants and flowers. A joyful picture of colors and smells. And you keep on walking, following the path. Around the corner, where it leads into a high wall, a wall that you cannot see over. And in a way, this wall reminds you of a question you have, an issue you want to resolve, or an obstacle you are facing. And I want you to reach out and touch this wall and feel the coarse texture against your fingers and the palm of your hand. And I want you to lean against it, feeling how this wall, on the one hand, supports your weight, but on the other hand, it stops you from following your path. And I want you to consider your question or your issue that presents this obstacle to you. And I wonder, what opportunity do you see in your question or issue? And then you slip through the wall, almost as if it is not there. And suddenly you are standing on another path on the other side of this wall. And you see a path, a stone path, sneaking up a small hill to a beautiful tree with glorious green leaves. And you start walking along this path, this stone path, slightly uphill. And you feel how your body warms up and loosens with every step you take. And then you reach the tree. And standing about 2 steps away, you see a small wooden box on the ground with your name written on it in letters of gold. And in a moment, but not yet, I want you to pick up this box. And when you're ready, lean down and pick it up. And then I want you to open it. And inside, on purple velvet, is a rolled up piece of paper. And just looking at this rolled up piece of paper, you get the feeling that the answer to your question or a clue to your issue will be written inside. And you know that if you follow this answer or clue, your life will become significantly better. So I'm going to invite you to take out this piece of paper and put the box down. And then unroll the paper and see what your unconscious mind has written down for you. And pause for a moment and think about what this means. And knowing that even if you don't understand what is written down, that in the coming days, this answer or clue will become a lot clearer to you and open So many possibilities. And then just look at this piece of paper one last time and put it back in the case. And put the case at the base of this tree where you found it, knowing that you can come back here anytime you need to see what is written on that piece of paper. And also knowing that if you have any other questions or issues, there will be answers for those too. And in this beautiful garden, under this tree, I want you to close your imagined eyes as well. And I will count back from 3 to 1. Starting with 3, feeling present in your body. 2, noticing how your energy is surging and commitment is flowing in your body. And 1, open your eyes in your chair where you are wide awake, feeling great. Welcome. And settle back into reality. In conclusion, guided visualization is an excellent tool for the coach who wants to expand a client's possibilities and their awareness. It is useful for dropping suggestions in the unconscious mind and to engender positive states to support the client's outcomes and mindset. Guided visualization allows the client to connect with their imagination and find answers in their expanded consciousness. I would encourage all of you to explore this technique for yourself. Practice using it. Practice using the script I shared with you. And then, of course, writing your own scripts and seeing the possibility it opens up for you. Thank you very much for showing up today, and good luck with your personal growth as a coach.